Hello students, welcome to online computer classes. Myself Dr. Kajal Rai, and today this is our new session of Python. Here I will introduce you about array, ndarray in Numpy package. Basically Numpy is a package which constitute of two main constituents and all the numerical functionality are considered are gathered or you can say are implemented using these two packages, ndarray and universal function ufuncs we call it. Now what is ndarray? ndarray is a multi-dimensional array object which is the central or core data container for all the operations which will be executed using numpy, and universal functions are the functions which operate on these ND arrays element by element. Well, now what is array? Array is a fundamental representation of data. We also call it matrices because we do all the numerical operations on it, and it is mostly all the languages, whether it is Java, whether it is we use MATLAB, whether we use Python, we always represent it as a matrix. But what is the main property of array? Array can be of two types, of course, single dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. But the most important property of array is that it should contain similar type of data, homogeneous type of data, whether we use it in Java, C, C++ or Python. No difference in any languages. The basic property of array is that it should contain the homogeneous type of data. Numpy and the array is also a generalization of the same array. Now we had talked most about it. Now it's a time for do some practical things. You all know how to start a Jupyter notebook. This is my Jupyter notebook where I will create array using numpy. But before that, I should import it as np. I'm importing numpy package as np. Now I'll create this array using np.array function. np is a numpy package. Now I will create this array. This is the syntax of creating the array. I had to call this, otherwise I can't see the output. Now you can see that this array ARR contains these 5 elements. Now this is the single dimensional array. Now let's create some multi-dimensional array. We can create multi-dimensional array in the same way as we created single dimensional array, but we have to keep it all the things in the square brackets, and in between the comma should be there. Now I will run this code and it will give me this type of matrices. As I told you that the array should be single dimensional or multi-dimensional, but it should be of similar data type. Now let's create a matrices which contains only 0. So what is the function for that? np dot zeros. You have to give the dimension, but sorry. Now I will run it, and containing only zeros. This data type is here. I should give the similar dimensions. Only single dimension is there. Okay, in this case only single dimensional. Then now I can also create an array of which contains only ones. So there is a function of np dot ones also. So when I run it using np dot ones, it will create an array of 1. Now there is also a function of creating identity matrix. Identity matrix is basically what it is, a diagonal matrix, and for that I had to give the dimension. Sorry, I had to give a single dimension only. It will create automatically. Yes, it will create automatically. Only single dimension I have to get. Now I can also assign some random values to the array, but for that I had to use random function, which is in random package dot randan. Where it will contain random values. Random is a package and randan is a function in that package, and it will create 3 by 4 matrices. But what is the thing is that random values, that it will always, when you run this, it will contain some different elements, not the same type, not the same values. So it will create random values. This is simply an introduction of ndarray. Now let's revise this. I had creating a single dimensional array, then multi-dimensional array, then we had created a matrix of 0, then a matrix of 1 using ones function, then an identity matrix. Here I had given 3, I can also give 5, and it will produce 5 cross 5 and 5 rows and 5 columns matrices, where all the elements of the diagonal are 1. And next I had created the random dimensional matrices, random matrices using the dimensions which I had given. I can change it also anytime I want, but when you always run it, it will take some random values. Thank you. I hope you understand it. In the next class, I will do how we access these array elements one by one, and how we slice it, and we do lots of work for that, lots of other things. Thank you very much.